I'm Nicole Petallides, live here at the NASDAQ. You are tuned in to the watch list, and thank you for joining us. Today for our stock spotlight, we're joined by Jamie Friedman, Senior FinTech Research Analyst at Susquehanna International Group, to talk about the latest upgrade on Square to positive. That's some great news. That's up from neutral and a $77 target. Why now? Why positive?
Yeah, well, there's two inputs to the upgrade.
All just sounds just right, doesn't it? You know, this has been an interesting stock because it's not just a payment. I mean, it's my understanding people are starting to use it like a bank. They're paying with it. I've heard a lot of small businesses saying their business grew exponentially, and people are using it in that way, less so than trying to go to a bank. Is that right?
It is a great product. I have one, and it has a broad FICO perspective.
I love this. Yeah.
So the interesting thing about it is that many of your viewers probably use peer-to-peer volume because the volume actually comes from the seller, not from the Cash App, if that makes sense.
Why not $100?
Well,
because I've seen targets of $100 on Square over this year, and they've come down. Does it have potential over the years to get to that point?
So the
reduced their numbers down to $49 and said that the investments to which you're referring, right, which would be this marketing investment, will actually hit the margins next year, right? You're actually expecting to see more volume and more growth and better margins next year. This analyst thinks no, and that the stock is overvalued and puts a $49 target.
I'm familiar with what you're referring to, and he's a good analyst. We would say that the margin, the reason the stock has gone from 100 to 62 is the margin deterioration.
Volume that's really going to give it this. I saw a GPV. I read your note. I know. I do have a question for you. By the way, I did also see that at one point you were Wall Street Journal's #1 best on the street in the stock picking poll. I like that kind of stuff. Stripe. This is another name in the payment space. I'm sure you're familiar with it. They've raised $250 million, a $35 billion valuation. The CEO has come out and tried to say, look, we're not interested in IPO and direct listing and all these things now. And then you have MasterCard and Visa and PayPal. Any comments on some of these other names? I mean, Stripe seems the most interesting because we haven't really heard about it.
Usually the public markets, I realize where we're sitting, the public markets are a vehicle for a liquidation event from founders and
these are some big, right? They have Elon Musk and Peter Thiel in this one. It's behind it. It is code that enable online payments for millions of businesses. They have this, exclusive coding that they're using. So to your point of it being a real technology company in the financial space. It's great to see you.
Likewise.
Jamie Friedman, thank you so much. Senior FinTech Research Analyst at Susquehanna International Group. Thanks for being here on set. Still ahead in the second half of our show, Goldman Sachs out with some new stock upgrades and downgrades.